You get what you deserve in life. Many of us get frustrated when people treat us a certain way. Oftentimes in a hostile way, whether it's a manager at work or even in your personal relationships, your romantic relationships, a woman that you're with is just treating you awfully. That is all as a result of your own wrongdoings. Yes, it's your fault. As men, we have to take 100% responsibility for everything. If someone's treating you like shit, you allowed it because of the things that you did or didn't do. You didn't establish boundaries, which is something you do at the very fucking beginning, by the way. This is not something that you all of a sudden 2 years later, right now I want to enforce some boundaries. No. She'll look at you if this is, in a relationship context, she'll look at you and think, now, you fucking weak bitch. After me walking all over you for 2 years straight, treating you like crap, now you want to enforce. It's too late for that. This is something you do at the very beginning. If you want people to come correct, if you want them to treat you with the respect that you desire, it starts from the very first act of disrespect. I've said this in countless videos before. People will poke and prod. They'll try and piss you off to see whether or not you have a spine, whether or not you have a backbone. Most guys will just take the abuse. In the workplace, a lot of guys will just sit there like a good little boy because they're afraid of losing their income. Which, look, I can understand. It's a tough world out there and we have bills to pay. But where are your fucking balls, man? Do not ever be afraid of establishing boundaries. Even at the workplace. Yes, even if your salary is dangled on a little fishing line. Yes, you need the money. But my God, if you just take the disrespect because you need the money, you will not respect yourself. And that is the ultimate loss. When you don't even respect yourself. How sad of an existence is that, where you can't even look at the man in the mirror? It's terrible. So think of the dynamic that you have at the moment with maybe your boss or your wife or girlfriend. Is this dynamic healthy? Is it bringing you the fulfillment that you seek? Because if a relationship, for example, isn't making you feel good, then it's not something you should stay in. Now, as I said, if you now suddenly want to enforce boundaries, in my opinion, it's too late. But this is something you have to bear in mind going forward. I will not tolerate disrespect. And you have the power to dictate that from the very beginning. And you don't have to be an asshole about it. I've spoken before on how to establish boundaries. This is something that you can do as a gentleman without using foul language. In the workplace, for example, your manager does something disrespectful. Hey, I want to speak to you for 2 minutes. Most of them have never been called out. They've treated their employees like crap and they've gotten away with it for so long. And then you show up and you just say, hey, what you did back there was extremely disrespectful. That's not a way to communicate to another human being. And I won't accept this. I want you to speak to me with some respect because I treat you with respect. Now, look, if there are a person with a little bit of decency still left in them, they'll be like, listen, I didn't mean it that way. I'm so sorry, this and this. Because even they have a manager above them. Okay, no one is absolutely untouchable. Unless it's the owner of the company, in which if he decides to tell you to fuck off, you haven't lost anything. That salary that you've lost isn't a loss. You have walked away with your head held up high. If you stand up for yourself and you lose something, that's not a loss. That's not a loss. And you'll look back at that in the future with a feeling of pride. You know what? I did the right thing. So look, the way people treat you, it's ultimately a result of how you treat yourself. If you allow people to walk all over you, they will. Absolutely, they will. But if you draw a line in the sand, you say, hey, you don't disrespect me, then people will make sure that they'll change the way they approach you. They'll know, okay, I can't fuck with this guy. Maybe this guy I can fuck with, but not him. You make it difficult for them to fuck with you. In the context of a romantic relationship, you enforce boundaries from day one, and if those boundaries are repeatedly crossed, I don't even want to use the word repeatedly. If you enforce a boundary and then that person disrespects that boundary again after knowing how it made you feel the first time, then you walk away right there. You don't sit there and negotiate again. No. Boundaries are there. They're fixed. They're not up for negotiation. Well, last time No. I told you that this upsets me. I communicated that with you in a calm manner. And you agreed not to do it again, and you've done it again. I don't believe that we're the right fit for each other. I wish you the very best. And that's it, really. You don't sit there and argue, why did you do it again? No. You go. You leave. That's it. Stop being treated like shit, guys. You can draw a line in the sand and stop that going forward. No more. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Kill that niceness, that weasel energy. Get rid of that. I'm not saying you have to act like some macho, tough, alpha male guy. Nah. You don't have to beat your chest and run around like a silverback. You know? No, you don't have to do any of that bullshit. But you got to have a fucking backbone. When it doesn't feel right, you'll know. It doesn't feel right on the inside. I need to say something. Say something. Because if you shove that shit in and you don't say anything, you will resent yourself. And it's not a good feeling, resenting yourself. It's not a good feeling. People will approach you differently in life when you start to elevate your standards. When you start seeing yourself differently from a place of love, people approach you differently. If you dislike yourself, if you hate yourself, people will treat you badly. They will. This is someone I can exploit. I can take advantage of. He's weak. Women will take advantage of your weakness. They will. Some of them are evil like that. They'll smell the weakness in you. You're a people pleaser, nice guy. I'm going to take advantage of this fucker right there. Maybe you're a little weak weasel who's got a bit of money. Oh, you will be run dry, mate. And it's not just about the money. It's also about all the other benefits that she can get out of you before ultimately dumping your ass. And you're there thinking, why me? What happened? Wake the fuck up. Get your head out your ass and start respecting yourself, for goodness sakes. There's nothing that saddens me more than seeing a man who does not respect himself. And sometimes you have to go through a very difficult circumstance yourself, a situation, a breakup, for you to learn. You know, these videos are here to help. But I know that someone might listen to this and think, oh, Ali's making sense. Yeah. But then they will need to go through something difficult for them to learn. There is no reason to prolong suffering in the hope that something will change. Hopefully my manager will start treating me different. hopefully this girl will start treating me different. At that point, it's too late. At that point, exiting the situation is the best thing you can do and start from a clean slate. Hope is not a strategy. You don't hope things will change. Take people as they are and assume they'll never change, because they may very well never change. They may stay like this for the next 20, 30 years. Now, they could change, but that's up for debate. It's speculation. Could happen, it may. I don't want to sit around and prolong my suffering in the hope that this person changes who they are. No, I will position myself in a different environment. You are a sovereign human being. You can decide to pick up and move. You are not a tree. You can move, as Jim Rohn once said. You know what? This circumstance, this environment does not make me feel good on the inside. So I'm going to pick myself up and I'm going to go somewhere else. That's not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of intelligence and strength. Because it means that you hold yourself to a high regard. You don't want yourself to suffer unnecessarily. And when you are someone like that, who disassociates from negative energy and departs, people will learn, okay, I can't be negative to this guy. I can't treat him badly. He will leave. See, absence is, I don't want to use it as a tactic. This is something that you should adopt in your life. When the circumstance is not favorable, you leave. Give people the gift of your absence. I was available to you. I was being great to you. But that wasn't reciprocated, so I will move. I will depart. You don't have to tell them, I'm going to give you the gift of my... No. This is the kind of stuff you don't say. You just disassociate. This applies to friendships. You're in a friendship group that's just now negative and absence. Gone. Gone. You don't do it as a tactic. Well, hopefully now they'll text me and be like, oh, what have I done? No. Gone. With no expectation of returning. You go. You have to be ruthless like that. Because if you're not ruthless with yourself, other people will be ruthless to you. I'm going to say that one more time. If you're not ruthless with yourself, other people will be ruthless to you. And you will just be beaten up in life. Disrespected, humiliated, treated badly. Life will chew you up and spit you out. And you're always there thinking, why me, man? Why me? Because you're not ruthless with yourself. You're going to have to make the tough decisions in life at a certain point. You're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done with this bullshit. I'm not going to tolerate this any longer. This doesn't serve me. So change the way that you show up. Do not allow people to have their way with you. Have a backbone. Say what you mean what you say. If it doesn't feel right on the inside, say something. Enforce a boundary. If that boundary is crossed again, leave. To never return again. I'm not telling you to leave your hometown, but leave the encounter. Leave the situation that you're in. Self-respect. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.